Marvel Movie Minute, a daily podcast in which we smash apart the films of the Marvel Cinematic Universe into 1-minute chunks so we can analyze them in scrupulous detail. I'm Kyle Olson from the Road to Infinity podcast.
Hey, and I'm Rob Cabasco. I can't remember a time where I woke up in a place different from where I fell asleep. Now, I had a really good friend in high school that we were on a club organization event one time, and he was notorious for being a heavy sleeper. In the middle of the night, he was fast asleep. The rest of us in like sort of this cabin that we were at this retreat picked up the bed, placed it in the bathroom, and he woke up in the bathroom. Right? I don't know what that feels like. Like, what would that feel like?
Yeah.
Like, do you just go? Does your mind just go? What happened?
Yeah, right. The closest I've ever gotten to that would be lost time, because I had an emergency appendectomy. Ooh. So I remember the whole night very vividly. From leaving work with a stomach ache and then ending up in the hospital, and then I remember being in the room where they were explaining to me about the surgery, and then waking up after the surgery. My wife was there, and like I don't remember, like you see in all the movies, they wheel you down and they have the thing and they put the off and they count you back from 10. I have zero memory of that. I remember going down a hallway and then I woke up the next morning. With basically missing a piece of my body.
I did. I had similar surgery done, so I remember going out because I remember the countdown from 10.
Oh, you do? See, I don't.
I remember
that,
and I can remember going 10, 9. Oh, look at that funny.
Interesting.
That was it. I immediately, and then I remember just, hey, Rob, wake up, and I'm thinking, okay, but I knew, you knew you were going to wake up in a different space. You weren't going to wake up in the operating room.
Yeah.
Maybe my favorite movie moment where that happens to a character, Michael Douglas in The Game.
Oh, love that movie.
Where he wakes up, buried in the coffin,
yeah, right.
Like, what just happened? And that's a whole other conversation. Yeah. Wait, why are we talking about this?
Because we're having a character here who's going to wake up and not know what the heck just happened to me. Here in minute 29 of 2008's Incredible Hulk, directed by Louis Leterrier. But when we start out, we are coming to the end of a conversation. And so the end of the sentence that we had started last time was, "You'll have to explain that statement, sir." And this is the ending of the one-act play that began in minute 28.
And that statement is that it was Banner.
It was Banner.
So he's got to know.
Yeah. So here it is. So now is the 10. Okay. So you guys explain that statement, sir. Here we go. He's gonna get him. We're gonna get a little mini origin story.
Fill him in.
Ross says, "No, I don't."
Oh, what?
Shut down. Let's not forget who's got the 4 stars on their shoulders.
Did he say that, or did his mustache say that?
Right.
What is your mustache thing?
Yeah. Thunderbolt Stash says no.
Come on.
He said, but then just soften, he says, "You've done a good job. Pack up and get our men on the plane. We're going home." But our men on the plane, that means they survived. At least some of them.
Or just pick up the pieces.
Yeah, right. But he says get our men on the plane. So if that was it's not just get a squeegee.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, so we know from this is, and I believe later on there will be a deleted scene that will even though that's in a
future
upcoming
episode.
minute. Yeah,
right, very good.
Soon, but not in this particular minute. So then, having shut down any more questions, Ross walks out onto Bruce's old balcony. It cuts from that to another beautiful helicopter shot of the favela. As you mentioned last time, the camera being used and the helicopter shot being used as a storytelling device. We're now moving away. Everything else has been toward. This is moving away, and this will be our last shot of the favela. So from here, we are actually leaving Brazil.
And you know what I thought was neat about this is, again, part of the storytelling, because this is implicitly done for this reason. Mm-hmm. All the times we've seen this canvas, it's always just been focused on the buildings and the density.
Yeah.
Now the focus is on the lights in every window on.
Yeah, that's right.
Meaning life goes on.
That's right.
The people you just saw, you just were embedded in their livelihood. Mm-hmm. Well, now they're back to doing their day-to-day stuff.
That's right. They'll have to wait for Fast 5 for another exciting adventure to come to them.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
We move from the city, then we move over into the jungle, so we're pushing in deeper. And now this is in a different place. Now, so we don't in this minute we won't find out where geographically Bruce has ended up, but I can tell you that actually where they ended up was the Taone waterfall in the Tija forest near Rio. I'm sorry for my pronunciation, but basically they're still in Rio. So in the storyline, they're not, even though we won't find that out until minute 30. But they are. This is actually shot from there, and in the commentary they talked about how basically the crew got a mini vacation because they took the camera people, and they took Edward to shoot this stuff, and it rained almost continually because that's what it does in the rainforest. So they're like the rest of the crew is just chilling on a beach having a good time, while day after day they can't shoot this because it keeps doing these tropical downpours and they can't get the shots.
And aren't they just like at this point, just like, okay, it's going to rain in this scene?
Yeah.
Like, why?
I know, right? You think they'd just be like, no, it's just going to rain. It's like, no. You gotta have, like, because I mean, maybe it's because they had already shot one, like they shot him waking up, or they shot the distance, they shot the close up, whatever. They couldn't have them match.
So what does that add to your budget?
Yeah,
like
right.
50 grand
every
like,
day.
Like what is that?
Right. Well, they're already there, so it's just like it extends their time there. So as we get to the waterfall, which waterfalls will be a recurring thing in this movie, we zoom in and we see poor Bruce. He is shirtless, shoeless. He's just wearing some blown out pants.
Not pantsless.
Not pantsless.
We continue the weird joke of how does a creature that big still have pants?
Yep. But at least in this, they make the thing of him having to, like, basically his
Scrunch
waistline
them. We're getting
expanded.
closer to the ultimate gag that comes in a far later movie.
Yeah.
There's no pants.
Yeah. So this one, he actually is like cinching up his pants. So he has to do it.
But I kind of like up. He's just sort of like, oh, that happened.
Like, this again, huh? All right. So yeah, he sort of stands up, confused, like, I don't know where I am. I don't know what's going on. No one's dead around me, so I guess that's a plus. And then as he looks around, that's where the minute ends.
That's where the minute ends.
So we don't know where he is. We don't know how long it's been. We don't know anything.
So
neither does he.
Reflect on this. Mm-hmm. He's got nothing.
Yeah. Like literally nothing.
He has nothing.
He's lost everything at this point. Lost his computer. Lost his his totem. His picture of Betty that he's been carrying all the time. Lost his dog. Lost his job. Lost his apartment. Lost his anonymity.
I mean,
all he's got is those pants.
Yeah, and rags at that.
Right.
Like, that's just crazy.
Right.
So what happens? Does the movie end? No, of course not.
No, of course not. We got hopefully Bruce can make a friend. Yes, because there's no way he can get through this on his own. So
who has an extra pair of pants?
Right. Yeah, minute 30. Bruce quest for pants.
Oh boy.
So all right, well, you'll have to see another cliffhanger. So you'll have to join us for a minute 30.
Now Bruce didn't have a shirt.
Bruce did not have a shirt.
But let's say you have that problem. Let's say you wake up one day, you have no shirt. Where do you think you get a new shirt from?
Well, if it was me and I needed a shirt like that, I would probably go to thenextreel.com/merch, where you can get clothing with either the Marvel Movie Minute or the Next Reel or a bunch of different designs on there too. Perhaps your head has been because you're lost in the jungle and you're getting rained on constantly. You can also get a hat. Perhaps you're binging these episodes and you're going all the way through and having trouble staying awake just because your job takes a lot out of you. You should get a mug, fill it with coffee, have the Next Reel podcast logo on the side.
Or if you're standing out in the rain, collect some of the water.
Right, exactly, because water's good for you. Anyway, nextreel.com/merch, you can find all that stuff, and we'd appreciate it because a few of those dollars come our way to help offset our costs. Thank you all for listening. Hope you had a smashing good time. Until next time, true believers.
Bye.